So I've got a visitor in the studio today. Her name is Pippi. Winnie is here. Pippi's my sister's dog. Winnie's just behind me. And she loves the lap, so she sat here while I record. So today I'm going to be making a collage. I have been since January making collages for an exhibition. And yeah, I'm hoping to take 20 framed collages down to Devon at the end of the week. And 20 framed collages is a lot, especially when I had like a lot of other projects going on. So it's been quite the challenge, but I'm nearly there. I've got just 2 more that I need to frame, one that I've made and one that I'm going to hopefully make today. I want it to be quite a big collage because I've got quite a lot of wall space to fill, and quite a few of the pieces I'm taking are quite small. I did give myself the challenge this year to make one big, like A4 size collage per month, but this is January's and I was really disheartened by it and I wasn't very pleased with it. So I stopped and kind of gave up. But yeah, I'm hoping to try again. So the leaf here was a big leaf skeleton that I found on a walk about a year ago. And I made a few prints with it before it disintegrated. And I've got one more left that I can use to make a collage with. And I want this one to go right because I just don't want to waste it. I really love this print. So yeah, I'm thinking I might actually do a vertical collage, like quite a long, thin one. I'm really liking this kind of greeny grey. I can't remember what print I was making with this colour, but yeah, I really like it. I think it might have been a mono print possibly while I was away on my residency. So yeah, I'm going to be making a collage today, and then at the end of the week I'm going to be framing it. I'm going to pop Pippi on the floor and show you a few of the framed collages that I've done so far, so you can kind of get a picture of the type of artwork that I've made for this show. So here is one of the pieces that I'm putting in the exhibition. It's a house sparrow on a woven collage, so different to the cat and dog woven collages I've done before. And yeah, I can't remember if I said, but the title of the exhibition is Ordinary Worlds, so it's quite a nice broad title. It's just, the main thing was that the organisers asked that I submit all collages, although I think I'm going to take a few of my prints to put in the browser. So there's this still life, so there's a few still lifes. So when I first learnt about the exhibition, I thought it was just going to be a still life exhibition. I didn't realise landscapes and other things could be involved too. But yeah, I'm glad I challenged myself to create the still life pieces because yeah, there's something really different to my other work. And finally, there's this big piece. So this is the biggest collage that I've ever made. And I really love it. So I'd started it, the C bit of it, I started, was it, I can't remember if it was November this year or November last year. That's mad to say, I just can't actually work out if it was like a year and a bit ago or just a few months ago. But anyway, it'd been hanging around for ages. I took it on the residency and never did anything with it. And then realised it went so well with the moon from Inky Shadows, which is a print I made last year. So yeah, there's this one. And it's the same moon that I'm going to be using today. Just one layer of it. I think it's just one layer or two, rather than, it's just like the same block but different print, basically. So yeah, I'm going to get collaging. So these 3 pieces are the starting point for my collage, and I'm just going to go through my box of collage scraps and pick out any other tones that might go well with this colour scheme. I don't actually have a landscape in mind. I know it's going to be a landscape, but with collage I'm often just kind of making it up as I go, and my design's dictated by the scraps and the proofs that I have. So once I've got a selection, I'm just going to start cutting basically and creating different compositions to work out what works. When I'm creating a landscape, I'm using my knowledge that often when you look out at a landscape, what's further away is often lighter in tone and cooler in colour. So I'm choosing the lighter pieces to go further back. And what's in the foreground is often warmer in tone and darker in colour, so I'm thinking about that when I'm picking up the different scraps. Here I'm adding bits of blue into the background because I did try just using green, but I felt like all the colours weren't tying in that well together, so I've kind of mixed up the greens and the blues. I've chosen a scrap that looks like a lake, and it's got the same leaf skeleton print as the background, so I like the way that ties in this piece. At this point I want to start sticking down some of the collage, otherwise I kind of lose track of what what's going where, and I was sure that these pieces were where I wanted to put them, so I attached them with archival PVA glue. You want to use enough glue that it sticks and not too much that it goes wrinkly. I find pressing my collages under books really helps prevent them from going wrinkly when they're drying. I've cut out lots of shapes here. I like to cut out quite a few different bits that I think I'm going to use so that I can play around with compositions more spontaneously. You can see here I keep checking that the bit I'm using for the lake is still going to match when I add these other elements in. It's quite an integral part of the piece, so I've just got it there the whole time, making sure that everything's going to go. And when I stick the lake down, I'm happy to see that the textures and colours do tie in well together. I really want to use this moon to add tiny sheep on the hill. I don't know if it's going to look any good, but I love adding sheep into my work, and the hill is looking a little bit bare to me, I think. Although this sheep might be a bit big. But it could be quite sweet. Obviously I'll give it a head and legs. Look how cute the little sheep are. They took ages because the legs kept falling off. But yeah, I think they're too cute not to include in this collage. So it's time to finish the foreground, adding in some shapes that mimic rocks and hedges and trees. And then I add a couple of birds in the sky on the left to balance out the sheep on the right. I often add birds into my collages because I love birds, but also because they help to bring interest into areas like the sky. Here's the finished collage. Pretty happy with it. I really like the colours, and it's kind of what I envisioned before I started, even though I didn't really know where I was going with it. So yeah, I'm going to mount it and then I'll frame it in a couple of days. So it will only be a few seconds for you, but I'm going to London tomorrow until the next day. So yeah, once I'm back, I'll frame it just in time to deliver the artwork to Devon. It's a couple of days later now, and I've just got back from London, which was, London's like not my natural environment, being surrounded by lots of people and like the busyness, but we had a nice time. I went to see my niece in a show, and also we went to the National Gallery, which was really lovely. And I haven't really had a good look around the London galleries in ages, so it was nice to see some art. But anyway, I'm back now. I'm in the framing and print studio with the collage that I made 2 days ago now. It's all mounted up, so yeah, I cut that before I left. So that's ready for framing, and then also I've got the other piece that I need to frame for the exhibition as well. So it's 4 little collages. I'm going to frame both of these in oak frames to match all the others that I've done for the exhibition. I worked as a picture framer for 3 years before going full-time on my art. I really enjoyed being a picture framer and learning all the skills that I needed, and now I use them whenever I do shows and exhibitions. It means I can do everything really last minute, and yeah, it's really helpful. So today I'm using solid oak moulding. I didn't realise my Morso, which is the machine I'm cutting the 45-degree angles with, was that wobbly, but I'm sure it's fine and it's not going to fall on me, don't worry. I just think I need to remove the mat from under it and level it out. Seeing this video has also reminded me I need to remove all that wood at the back and give it to my sister for her log burner. And then I joined the frames using my underpinner. This bit doesn't always go well, especially with hardwood, but luckily today luck was on my side and all the joints were good. So it's time to fill and sand any areas that need it. This is my least favourite part of the job. It's dusty and just takes forever, but it is really satisfying adding beeswax at the end. Next up, it's time to cut the glass. So I remember being so scared of glass when I first started picture framing, but now it just doesn't bother me. Like, you kind of know how it acts as a material, and yeah, it's just really enjoyable cutting it. If I'm doing big batches of frames, sometimes I do buy my glass and board pre-cut just because it saves time and I don't have loads of space in my studio to store sheets of glass. Now it's time to clean the glass thoroughly on both sides and fit the picture. The worst injury I actually ever got as a picture framer was using the tab gun here, the red tab gun. It was like one of my last days as a picture framer and I shot it into my thumb and it went through my nail and it was absolutely awful. So yeah, luckily that's the worst injury I've got from picture framing. So then I add tape to keep the dust out. It's really important to add tape when you're picture framing. And then adding the D-rings and the string. I'm anticipating people telling me I should tie a better knot. But this is how I tie my knot and it works for me. But yeah, everyone's got their own way of doing it, I guess. So yeah, that's how I create my framed pictures. Here are the framed pieces. So I quite like how they are really similar colour schemes. So they go well together, these two. So there's this one and this one. So yeah, 2 framed collages, the last 2 of the 20 that I needed to do. So yeah, I'm pleased with them. Framing took longer than normal because of filming it. It just adds that extra layer of complexity to things. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed seeing that process. So the exhibition Ordinary Worlds is at Greenhill Arts in Devon. It's on from the 30th of March to the 8th of June 2024. And there's 4 other artists that are taking part that do paintings and print and collage. So I think it'll be a really interesting exhibition. And I'll put the details of the exhibition and all the artists in the description below. For my next video, I'm thinking of doing, so this is like a phone chest mount. So you wear your phone here, and then I was thinking you can see me printing from my perspective, and I thought that might be like a calming video. I don't really know. I'm going to try it out and see what it looks like. So that might be next. It depends. The dogs are here. Hang on. So here are the dogs. Hey Winnie, you don't really like showing me, do you? I'm going to finish off the rest of the exhibition prep now. Lots of admin to do. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching and hope some of you can visit the exhibition.